Well, oh my gosh, this show is going to be out of this world, I think. Ooh.
That's not a moon. That's no moon.
Yeah, no, but this is trash talk, and no matter where we broadcast from, there's going to be trash in the air. So, well,
hey, I read an article about how many tons of space trash is floating around above us. Like, so not only do we have trash on Earth, but we got trash in space too. So
and every once in a while you get a report of something that goes back through the Earth's gravity, and some of this trash that's been up there for 20 years comes back like at 300 miles an hour.
I know, it's crazy that can happen. You don't think about it, but I mean, we've been up there, everybody's been up there. So
yeah. And every time I always wondered, what do they do with the astronauts' poop? I mean, when they're up there in the space station, they're up there sometimes for months at a time, and where does it go? I mean, do they have a way of just or is it like an airplane? They just open a hatch and let it go.
Don't they wear diapers, or am I making that up?
Well, if they wear diapers, but if they're up there for 6 months, are you telling me that they're going to fill a diaper for 6 months? Ooh.
They just shoot it towards the sun.
And the closer it gets to the sun, the more it burns up.
Yeah, we're actually helping the sun out. I don't know. So what do I know? I'm going on like an hour's sleep. I don't know.
So in other words, maybe a bear doesn't, in the woods. He just points it to the sun and lets it go.
Yeah. Hey, today's kind of a holiday,
Yeah, it is. Well, you know what? You go ahead and set it up, what the holiday is, because then I'm going to join in.
So today is the holiday. It's May the 4th. It's International, National, Global Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And I am so happy because I'm a nerd. I love Star Wars. And he's joined the dark side. Hey, oh, nice. A little Kylo Ren action going on there. I don't even have one of those anymore due to long story, but yeah.
All right, strike the set.
Star Wars, yeah.
I got to give credit to my grandson. He loaned me his lightsaber. Man, this thing is awesome. Can you hear that?
Yeah, that right now, for you guys listening on Spotify and Anchor, Stuart has the Kylo Ren lightsaber from the new trilogy. There you go. That's awesome. Very cool.
I told you this show isn't just fun. You can actually learn something. Not much, but not
much. We have a lot of useless facts.
A lot of useless facts.
So yeah, Star Wars Day. Star Wars Day is here every year. May the 4th be with you. It's huge. Man, I'm excited about it. I love Star Wars.
I didn't think I was going to like it. I didn't know I was going to get into it because I've never really been a sci-fi type fan. But I mean, I remember going back to what was the TV series?
Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah. And started to get into some of the characters, and they did some kind of special effects. But when I went to see the first Star Wars movie, I was just nailed to the back of the seat because of the special effects. And to think that some of those special effects were thought up many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
They were just beyond realistic. I mean,
you look at it, they were so ahead of their time. And even now, going back, I mean, now our special effects are literally light years ahead. But you look at it back then, I mean, it was not your typical, because most sci-fi movies back then were supposed to be cheesy. This was totally different. This was this was something that I think even George Lucas wasn't sure how big it was going to be, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Not only that, but I mean, just the mindset of the people working in special effects, what they could do with computers now, and are still doing with computers, and you know, the interiors, the exterior of the spaceships, and everything were just.
Oh,
And
the costume designs, I mean, just even looking at the basics of the costume designs, like, I mean, the aliens and the animatronics, and then a lot of those people, a lot of the aliens, I mean, pretty much, I say 95% of the what we saw in Star Wars, those were people in costumes or robotic. I mean, really cool looking stuff for back, you know, what, 1977?
right, right. I mean,
Unreal.
I think the last time that I remember something really catching you off guard and like a magnet drawing you in was the Wizard of Oz. Some of the things they did in the Wizard of Oz with the scenery and all, and that, I mean, that was cutting edge in its day. Then you got into, when was it, in around the 70s or something? They did 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
You know, and you looked at it and you thought, oh, no way. And all of a sudden we're living what those filmmakers saw decades ago.
It's really impressive. And I think the other thing too with George Lucas, I don't think I mean, he might have had a vision, but they didn't have any idea what it was going to be from 1977 to 2021. And we're still doing Star Wars. I mean, if you look at the movies themselves, forget everything else, the comics and the TV shows and all that, just the movies, we're looking at 9 movies, 3 separate trilogies, all connected, plus a bonus movie in the middle. We're looking at 10 movies of Star Wars.
And did you know that when they released that first movie, I mean, they hyped it up pretty good, but it actually lost money.
Yeah, I heard that.
First movie came out because of the cost of putting together this first movie and everything. They knew the public would go for it, no, but it actually lost movie in its initial release. But then it just started to catch on and went like wildfire. And then every time there was a sequel or a trilogy or whatever that came up, man, the people just flocked to it.
It's one of those special things that really has spanned over generations. So you can have people, you can have, you know, my dad, then me and Luke all be part of these Star Wars movies because it's all spanned. I mean, there's movies that have come out in Luke's time. There's movies that come out in my time. I mean, and my dad's time. So, you know what I mean? It's to me, it goes beyond just the movies and the cool story, because it really is an in-depth story, and it might be basic of good and evil, but there's so much more to the story than meets the eye, you know?
You know, I started digging into this, trying to find little factoids about this. And it was interesting that Luke Skywalker originally in the original script was a female. a, it was supposed to be a female character, and by a different name. And when they started with it, they thought, you know, this just isn't catching it. And also, let's go back and have this character, rename him Luke Skywalker, and it'll be a male actor.
Well, and that makes sense because in the new trilogy, they decided to go with the female as the main Jedi, the main character in that movie.
Yeah,
so it kind of went full circle, which is kind of cool. You know, speaking of Luke Skywalker, I mean, when you look at that cast, it wasn't a really big cast in the first movie that were names. I mean, other than some of the behind the scenes, like some of the actors, the voice actors and stuff like that, but Mark Hamill, nobody knew who Mark Hamill was.
Right.
You know, he wasn't a draw, and now look at this.
Harrison Ford was probably the biggest hook that when they cast him, and I think they tried to get Liam Neeson to play that originally, but Liam Neeson is so big, He was
Yeah, he is.
he was almost the size of Darth Vader. So they decided, oh, we need somebody, and they got Harrison Ford, which was a big name at that time, and that was going to be their ticket to the box office. But yeah, like you said, the backup cast, even Carrie Fisher, who I love from the Blues Brothers, but that's another movie and that's another story. But Carrie Fisher was a name, but she wasn't that well known. I mean, James Earl Jones, that was a voice that nobody could ever
You
mistake.
still can't. You still
Yeah,
can't beat that voice. You can't.
yeah.
You know?
And then they always get some of the actors from Alec Guinness. I mean, he was a natural. He was a natural for Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Harrison Ford that was your ticket into the box office, and then it still lost money when it was first released.
Well, I mean, it was just an insane movie for the cost and what they had to do for it. I mean, it was completely unreal, but Harrison Ford was made for that role. I mean, it wasn't a stretch for him to be that guy, And as you watch those movies, the first three, you really see those characters developed and get into their roles. And then Harrison Ford later returned in the new trilogy at some of it. Well, one part anyway. And it was really cool to see that again because nothing changed. He's still Han Solo.
Yeah, but I mean, I can imagine what it was like because I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
They call him up and they say, listen, Harrison, we're going to do another Star Wars movie and all, and we want you in the movie again. And he's saying, oh my God, I can't do that anymore. How about just walk on part?
Well, and I mean, if I hate to give anything away, look, if you guys haven't seen them yet, although they've been out for years, I'm going to give something away. Spoiler alert. It's probably why they killed him off. So, well, look, but he looked great though. I mean, I got to give it to him, man. He played it. He even made fun of himself for being old. I love it. It's great. Star Wars is great. And, for the fans out there, what's really cool is, you get fans that get mad about stuff. Oh, they didn't do this right. And they're just cranky. But, Disney purchasing Star Wars is probably the greatest thing to ever happen to Star Wars because we may not have gotten any more movies after that or stories after that. Now,
yeah, plus 20 years from now, there's going to be a whole new generation and they'll just re-release the whole thing right from the beginning. It'll be on Netflix or Disney Plus or anyone. People will go and just binge watch all the episodes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So on Disney Plus right now, because they own it, they have the exclusive rights. If they decide to let other people use it, they can. You can watch every single thing. I mean, I'm talking from back to when the Ewoks came out with the TV show, the old cartoons, every single Star Wars movie, all 10 films with 9 in the trilogy are on Disney Plus now, plus all the cartoons, which they all connect to one story and the universe. And right. Today they're releasing a new series called The Bad Batch, and it's on Disney Plus today. So, I mean, they just took it to a whole different level.
And you wonder, okay, this is it. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, there's another new film or a new series that's coming out, and you think, well, how many more can there be?
And I know people. I said that myself too. I was like, is it going to get overplayed? But then they came out with The Mandalorian. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, and it's really cool because it has nothing to do with Luke Skywalker. I mean, I don't want to give anything away. There's a little bit, but it fits in that timeline. I know, right? It's only been out for a year, but it fits in that timeline between the first trilogy and the second trilogy. Well, those are stories that we have no idea because so many years have passed. You've got tons and tons of stuff that you can just make up,
And what's also cool is now a lot of people in their homes have got movie rooms. you know, and they've got these 80, 90, 100-inch screens in their movie rooms with the surround sound. I mean, it's like you can have that total, you know, theater experience by watching these Star Wars movies almost in the same surround sound setup that you saw it in the movie theaters.
Oh, it brings it right to your living room, you know? Now
Yeah.
Luke and I haven't watched them together yet. I got this thing, you know, he's still only like 3.5. I think there's some parts of Star Wars that might not be able to see yet, you know, but I tell you what, from what he has picked up on, he's into it already. Like I gave him, actually, I got it right here.
Oh,
That's the original 1977 Star Wars case. And inside there's about 50 original action figures from 1977, 1990, 78. I gave those to him and he's freaking out over it. He's ready. Like he's excited about Star Wars.
that's his investment for the future too. Hang on to that.
That's it. That's all he's got. That's it.
Because, you know, not only have you got the movies, but then you got the spinoff, you got this annual get together of Star Wars fans all over the world. You've got the action figures and the toys and the movies and the games and the puzzles and everything that get released with every new movie, not only the new movies, but then they re-release all of the old stuff too. And it's a huge business.
I think Star Wars now, I think it's always going to be there and I think it's always going to have its place, obviously. I think the next thing in comparison with that would probably be Marvel. I think the they have created over the last 11 years in the movie theaters, just a whole universe. And I think that'll be Luke's generation of kind of Star Wars stuff, but there's nothing that compares to it, really.
It's a phenomenon, and today is the day. May the 4th be with you. Right? Yeah. I mean, was that a marketing genius tool too?
I know. And if you really want to get excited, you could stretch it for 2 days and do Revenge of the 5th tomorrow. So
yeah, but not only is it Revenge of the 5th, but isn't that Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, well, you're going to be drinking so much, somebody's going to have some revenge.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you something else that's out of this world is a Patriot Sandwich Company over in Denton, Texas.
That's true.
They're out of this world too. And you can, and as soon as you get your spaceship back on land it in Denton, Texas. And not only can the 4th be with you, but the fork can be with you.
May the fork be with you.
May the fork be with you at the Patriot Sandwich Company, who are our sponsors, and they're the ones that sent us into space today.
Yeah. I got a feeling David wants to send me somewhere sometime.
Yeah. You've heard that phrase, you know, hey, Brandon, you're going to the moon, my friend.
It's true.
Well, we hope everybody enjoys the 4th be with you. Go to Disney Plus, binge watch all the Star Wars movies.
All of it.
Fall with it. And
yes.
And thanks a lot for joining us. I'm going to hit the theme one more time here. So as they play us out, we'll catch up with you again next time right here for another edition of Trash Talk.
Trash Talk. Yeah. Tuesday at 8 a.m., folks.